Hello everybody, my name is Richard. In this video I'm going to talk about some of the coincidences I've had over my lifetime. So before we start, at the moment you can probably see, you probably might not know where we are, but we're on Portsea Island, that's on the east of Portsmouth. In the distance you can see Hayling Island, that's another island on the south coast of England. I've been there a few times, and yeah, here's a decent location to spend a nice Saturday evening at. So, let's begin. So the first coincidence I'm going to mention is the one that I had at the beginning of my third year at university. So basically, in my second year at university, that was between 2006 and 2007, there was a girl that I sort of liked, who was in the same halls as me, had dinner with sometimes, and yeah, in the third year, at the beginning of the third year, I had a dream. It was on my very first day back on the third year. So the dream was I actually met her, and for the first time I actually gave her a long hug. I'd never hugged her when I was at uni in the second year, not at all. Never happened, never thought it would happen. But this dream was a dream which came true. So basically what happened was, anyway, I got up that morning after the night I had the dream, went down to the main university campus. There was a freshers fair. They always have that on the first day back, and yeah, I bumped into them, and yeah, I spoke to them, and I actually gave her a long hug. In fact, I didn't expect it. It just sort of happened. It was like, is this really happening? So I'm sort of like, I never mentioned it to her. It's like I never wrote the dream down either. I know often, well I don't now, but I used to write down my dreams. I used to think of it as like, it's almost like another world almost. I used to believe that life would be, after you die, that life would be one long dream, that the dreams would happen when you die. It's stupid, I know, but that's what I used to think. So that was the first one. The second one was running out of rice. Now, I'm from the Isle of Wight. I'm from Ryde on the Isle of Wight, and I had my own flat from 2013 until 2016. Now, I think it was in 2015 this happened. I ran out of rice. I don't cook rice very often, but I just used it up, and I was thinking I need some more rice. I was like, I just wanted some more. Anyway, my grandparents did live not far from me. They've always lived on the Isle of Wight as well, and I often went to see them when I was there, and surprise, they had a bag of rice that they didn't want and that they wanted me to have, and it was almost like it was exactly what I needed. I never mentioned the rice to any family members or anything. I kept it quiet. I don't say everything about my life, and it's almost like they knew that I needed more. It's really, really weird. Strange things do happen sometime, and yeah, that's one of them. So the next thing I'm going to mention is breaking my pliers. Yeah, when I was on the Isle of Wight, I did gardening to help give me some extra income, or to help me maintain more of a primary source of income, because on the Isle of Wight there isn't that much work. So I did that for 2 years, and I eventually bought my own tools because I thought it looked more professional to have all my tools ready for each customer, rather than asking if they had their own tools or not. It's awkward, isn't it, when you ask customers if they have this, if they have that, and I just feel more confident being prepared for a situation I'm going to be ending up in. So anyway, one day I did break my pliers when gardening. I probably was a bit heavy-handed with it, and they were cheap as well, so it's not all my fault, but it's some of my fault. Anyway, I went round to my other grandmother's. It was a Sunday I think. Yeah, for some reason she had a pair of pliers, and she was thinking about me about my gardening, and yeah, these were a pair of red pliers. They were pretty nice, and I was like, that's exactly what I needed. It was almost like she knew also that I needed something which I didn't have, You know, timing is right again. It's really like, it shouldn't happen. It's just too many. It's too much of a coincidence. Anyway, so that was the third thing. The fourth thing was thinking of going to Allerton Barnes. Now, at the beginning of 2014, I did have a cycle trip up there. I didn't go up there very often. Allerton Barnes is sort of like, it's near in between Ryde and Newport on the Isle of Wight, but not directly in between. It's sort of almost directly in between, but not quite. Anyway, I cycled up there. It was a nice day. I had my coffee flask, and I went up there. I went into the Glassworks place. I can't remember the actual name of the place. I apologise. I forget sometimes. But it was where they make sculptures out of glass, and they often make it with lots of different colours. Anyway, I was speaking to the owner, watching him. He does demonstrations up there, and I was speaking to him, and I was speaking to his daughter there. That was in 2014. So let's fast forward 2 years. 2 years further ahead, it was January 2016. For some reason, I was thinking, I haven't been up there for a while. Maybe I should go up there again. I was sort of thinking, do I want to go cycling that day? And then I decided, no, I don't want to go cycling that day. I actually fancied walking locally in the end. Anyway, I was living like about 1 minute walk from the beach. That's where I used to live, pretty much next to the beach. And I basically got out. I decided to go down the slipway next to where I was living, and it takes you down to the beach. And now this beach, sometimes the tide is high and you can walk on it, sometimes the tide is low and you can walk around it. So yeah, sorry, you can walk around it to Binstead Beach, from Ryde to Binstead on the beach at low tide, but at high tide the tide is too high and you have to go around the roadway. Anyway, so as I got onto the beach, I saw a man and his dog. I got into a conversation with him, and it turned out to be the owner of the Glassworks place. It was like, I didn't expect it to happen, and I don't know, he doesn't even live in Ryde. He lives in Freshwater, which is another strange thing. I don't know why he was in Ryde, but he was in Ryde, and yeah, maybe he just felt like going somewhere different himself. But it's so strange when things like that happen. Anyway, on to point number 5. I had an interview in Brighton about a month ago, or just over a month ago, and basically, I was getting the train. Sorry, let me go back a bit. Sorry, the night before, I got up to go to the toilet. Sometimes you have to get up to go for a wee. Yeah, we all do at times. Anyway, for some reason, I was thinking of a film that I saw when I was at boarding school. To be honest, it did seem really boring to me. It was called Lord of the Flies, and for some reason I was thinking about it. And anyway, the next morning, got up, had breakfast, got my train from Portsmouth Harbour, from Fountain Station, to Brighton, and sort of like 2/3 of the way between, there was this lady reading an ebook, and she got into a conversation with someone else, and she was saying that she was reading Lord of the Flies, and she mentioned that it sounds similar to Lord of the Rings, but it's not the same. And it was like again, why does this so randomly happen? I was like looking and thinking maybe I might get their attention, but I didn't want to interrupt. I did not interrupt. I just she was getting off the train. I just minded my own business. And so, yeah, the fifth thing on my list happened, and yeah, again, I sort of thought, really weird. What's the chance of that happening? 1 in a million? Maybe less than that, I don't know. And the last thing is YouTube. Now, I have a YouTube channel, this one, yeah, and it was only like a couple of days ago. For some reason, I was thinking, maybe I should make a video about how to eat a banana. I'm not joking, I was having those thoughts in my head, and it was like, I was thinking, you know, it would be fun in one sense, but at the same time I would look like a complete idiot. It's just too obvious. I like to have fun, And some people do like stating the obvious and making a fool out of themselves, but I personally, I don't know, so it just doesn't feel right to me to be so obvious and to make myself look silly. So anyway, I'm looking at another YouTube channel, and it is basically a man who was giving advice in collaboration with another YouTuber who had 1 million subscribers, and he was interviewing them, and he was like asking them how it started, how they got all these subscribers, and yeah, these people initially said it was just trial and error, and their second video was precisely that: how to eat a banana. No joke, it was really that silly. It was a Thai lady. Who does, I can't remember, I didn't actually record the name of the artist. Well, not the artist. Well, it is an artist, but it's the wrong word. And I was thinking, again, yeah, what's the chances of this happening? So, yeah, I think I've covered enough of them now. I don't want to mention any more now. I think I probably have had I know I have had other coincidences, but I think enough is enough for one Saturday night. So, yeah, let me give you my take on it. Coincidences do happen. I am not religious. I'm not religious at all. I don't have anything wrong with people being religious, but I personally don't believe other people's faiths. I do believe my faith is personal to me, and I like to follow things how I see it. But I don't follow any. I'm not religious though. So no, it's not religion. I don't believe any conspiracies either. Again, I do believe that reality is true. What you see, what makes sense is what is true. And yeah, I don't like believing fairy tale. You know, I don't like believing like demons, angels, and things like that. No, I don't really think that's true. So I think at the end of it, what makes coincidences happen is quite simply because they're coincidences. Now, before I finish my video, if any of you have heard of Darren Brown, you know that he doesn't claim to read people's minds, but it appears he gives the illusion that he gives people's minds. Anyway, he did once this dice thing. He did, you know, when you throw the dice a certain number of times. Now, the chance of rolling a 5 times, not very likely. If you do the probabilities, it's 1/6, and you multiply a 6 5 times. 6, 36, 216. I can't do the exact maths, but it's about, so 25 times 200 is 5,000. So yeah, that's about 1 in 5,000 chance. So yeah, if you keep on rolling the dice, if you do it 1 million times, then eventually 5 5s in a row will happen eventually. And this is what I believe about the coincidences, is that things do happen to chance. Chances do happen, and if you let chance happen enough times, it will happen eventually. So that's my take on it. I've finished my video now, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to have a nice salad. I did have fish earlier on, but you know, I feel like I need that little bit more nutrition, so I'm going to go back in a minute and have something a bit more refreshing to eat. And yeah, see you in the next video, and I'll be putting up something very soon. Goodbye.